Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly C++ Group 1E Zoom session. I'm so happy that we have our participants joining us. Would anybody like to unmute and say hi, hello? And you will be recorded, of course. So, or put your camera on.
Good afternoon.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, Damien. How are you, Damien?
Hello.
Put your camera on. You become famous. I'll put you on YouTube. Come on.
I'm in my council.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody wants to see that.
No. Cool. All right, great. Okay, so for today's lesson, we're going to continue with the assignment 2. We're going to talk about what ma'am was trying to test us on. What was the objectives of this lesson, right? So let me share my screen and we'll get on with it. Then I'll also talk a little bit about that quiz that I had for my group 1E students, right? I'm not sure if anybody has attempted it. Marianne, did you attempt the quiz, Marianne?
Yes, sir.
Oh, goody. And you want to share the answer with us, or you want to keep it a secret? Let's
Answer like you don't know the answer.
Of course I know the answer. Of course I know the answer. All right. So let's look at it. Let's see if Marianne has attempted it, right? Only 12 attempts, Marianne. All right. Let's see if Marianne has attempted it and how long she took to get it. Marianne, you didn't do it, Marianne. Oh no, you did it. Oh, yippee. I'm so happy, Marianne. Right. So talk to me, Marianne. What do you think I was trying to test you on in this quiz, Marianne? It was just one question.
Yeah, it just seems to be the iterations of the while loop kind of thing. How many times does it repeat?
Correct. Right. So let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at the quiz. Let's see if I can do it. Here it is. And let's see, continue to last preview. All right, I'm not going to give the answer, but this was from May 2009, Marianne, the question, right? I just modified it slightly. You'll notice in this question, we were testing you on the while loop. And in this question, Marianne, I did not request a value from the user, Marianne. So I didn't say C out, please enter in a value, C in value, and then I went and made the change. The change occurred because of amount having changed within the context of the loop. That was what I was looking at, right, Marianne? Marianne, did I lose you? Are you still there?
No, I'm still here. Sorry,
Okay,
maybe you just didn't hear my last response.
Okay. So you notice in line number 4, Marianne, here's my initialization of my loop. I said the loop, sorry, not my loop, where my loop is going to stop, basically, right? So amount is equal to 1,000. So I asked myself the question in line number 6, is 1,000 less than or equal to 3,000? Yes, it is. So in line number 8, amount is equal to amount plus 0.5 times amount. So that's basically half of 3,000, right? So and it runs. I'm not going to go through the answer with you because I'd like you to try it out. And Marianne, you got it right as well, so I'm happy for that. Right? So every time when I send you I post a quiz, I have something specific that I want you to grasp in terms of the loop or the switch statement or the if-else statement or something like that. All right? So I hope I'm going to get more students that are answering this quiz. And let's see how many. Oh, only 12 attempts, Marianne. Only 12 attempts, right? So please, I'd like you to try that out. Okay, and I also had posted on our print Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. This is with the grade. I'm using another program so that it gives you immediate feedback. I'd like you all to try that out as well, right? So I spoke about that last week, Saturday. It's there we go. Let's see if there's any more students that have answered it. Oh, yes, they are. Right? Great, they are. There's a student there. Mudley, Zakaria Mudley, 23rd, she answered it. Right? I'm happy for that. So let's go on with today's lesson. And today's lesson talks about, we're basically on question 2. Right, Marianne? Last week, what did we do, Marianne?
Yes, sorry, I'm just thinking here. I remember we did the table before loops.
Yep,
Oh, I
1D.
remember. Hang on. It was the program that we corrected. Abdul almost did such a lovely explanation for it.
Oh, lovely. Yes, 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 yes. And it was one of the students that had actually helped me to do that, right? And he's going to take over my job next year, right? Marianne, you probably as well would be looking to get into tutoring. Right, so we've completed 1D. Let's look at question 2. Let's see what was it that the lecturer wanted you to be able to, what concepts was she testing you? So you should be familiar with this. It says, in this question, we describe a problem. Now, this is how programming takes place, where you have a scenario and you probably have to answer the question from scratch, right? I shouldn't be using the word scratch because scratch is a programming language as well. So here we go. It says the cost of renting a room. Oh, there's a spelling error out there. Is 900 Rand per night. For special occasions such as a wedding or conference, the hotel offers a special discount as follows. If the number of rooms booked, oh, great. Marianne, here's a clue. Here's a clue. It says, if the number of rooms booked is at least 10, the discount is 10%. Now that you are a programming student and you're on your road to become computer literate in terms of C++ programming, Marianne, what programming structure comes to mind?
If statement.
Yay! Great. Look at this, Marianne. If the number of rooms booked is at least 20, the discount is 20%. Oh, wait a minute. I already asked you that question. Let's see, Damien. Damien, now that you're a programming student and you're on your way to becoming C++ computer literate, what programming structure comes to mind, Damien? Oh, Damien, you're not there. Okay, let's see if Abdul, my other top student. Come on, Abdul. What programming structure comes to mind?
After the switch statement.
Oh, you're thinking of the switch statement. That's cool. Tell me, Abdul, why are you thinking of the switch statement, Abdul?
Well, I can say it's another option you could go for if you don't want to use your if statement. So you could just use your switch statement and have your cases or your test cases in between or in your code so that you know that if it's 10% discount, this is what code should run. If it's 20% discount, this is what code it should run. So a switch statement would basically work as well.
Cool, cool.
Excuse me.
Okay, so if I want to make a rule up, sorry, who wants to say something? Hello? Marianne, is that you?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to make a thought back on basically a counter comment on the switch statement.
Yes.
To my understanding, you can't actually use bool statements as controls for the switch statements as cases. So, I mean, you'd have to enter different things. So 1 room, 2 rooms, 3 rooms, 4 rooms, and have those equal 10%. It seems to me to make a rather long and complex program.
Oh, Abdul, what do you have to say about that, Abdul? Marianne has given you a counter argument.
In terms of that, I believe there is a way in which you could route your code. So let's say, for example, it says if the number of rooms booked is at least 10. So in your test cases, you can start from 0 to 10 and you'd have the same code running for that. So instead of just doing case 1, case 2, you could just run it from 1 to 10, and then you know that that is one code that's going to run for maybe your 10% discount. Same applies with your 20 rooms, same applies with 30 or more. So it's just a condition that you could probably be using also that would run for the same code.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so here's my, I love the discussion between Abdul and Marianne. Marianne says, listen, she wants to use the if-else statement. Abdul says, we can use the switch statement, and that's cool too. So I'm just wondering, Marianne, maybe you can try that out. See what happens with the switch statement. If you can apply that switch statement to this question, right? Abdul, and if you use the switch statement, maybe you can try using the if-else statement for this question. What do you think about that, Abdul? Abdul.
I used an if statement as well. So, however, I was saying it might be possible as well to use a switch statement. So I went for the if statement, but I was also putting it across there that a switch statement might also do the trick.
Good, good, good. Well, maybe you can try that out if you have some time, Abdul, to try and figure out whether a switch statement would be able to use, you would be able to use that. But what I'm trying to get at is, if you have to make a decision in a programming example, Abdul, Marianne, and Damien, and everybody else, if a decision has to be made, see the word, listen to the words. If a decision has to be made. Hello? Come on, man.
Yes. Yes, we are here.
Right,
I
right,
said,
right.
but I
Marianne.
don't think that was a very,
Yeah, Marianne, you don't think that was a very?
I don't think that was one of your best attempts.
Oh, man. Okay. Let me, well, programming is a bit dry sometimes, you know. You got to go with the
I
flow
don't think
kind
so.
of.
I thought that thing about Christmas and Halloween on the group the other day was really good. I was just sad how many people didn't get it.
Oh, the one on the WhatsApp, the joke. You got that
Yeah,
joke.
I thought that was really clever. Because I first looked and went, okay,
yes,
octal
yes.
decimal, but then I just stopped and I converted 31
Yes,
octal
yes.
into decimal. And it's like, hey, it is 25. Okay, yes.
Aha. I'm
I
so
really thought
happy.
that was really clever.
Okay, quick advertisement. What you thought about my joke as well? How many programmers does it take to change a light bulb?
I didn't actually see that one, sir.
Oh man, okay,
When did you
quick
post it?
advertisement break. How many programmers does it take to change a bulb, light bulb? Anybody? Anyone?
Go on, sir, give
Marianne?
us the answer. Yes, go on, tell us.
Zero, because it's a hardware problem. Ha 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 ha.
Oh my God.
Okay, great. Let's go back. Right, I'm so happy I got you laughing. Okay, so my objective here is for you to see that whenever a decision has to be made, meaning we have to decide whether the discount is going to be 10%, 20%, or 30%, then immediately you must think of the if statement, or like Abdul correctly pointed out, you need to think of the select statement. All right. So very often students find it difficult to grasp programming concepts, and they don't know where to start because they find programming is difficult. They don't know what to do, and this is just one little trick, Marianne, Damien, and Abdul, for you to decide what programming structure needs to be used. Also, Marianne, Abdul, Damien, and everybody else, it says, if the cost of renting a room is 900 Rand per night, this gives you a hint that this is an assignment statement. So the cost is 900. That's not going to change, right? 900 and every night, that's what you're going to pay. So that gives you an idea of how to go about working towards a solution for the program. All right. Now, let's go on to read. It says, so you'll have a grasp now. While we haven't read the whole program yet, but I think I should have an assignment statement out here because it's 900 Rand per night. I think I should have some if statements out here because there's decisions being made. And then they tell me, oh, there's more, there's an additional discount. And if you read the question carefully, the way it tells you if, right? Now let's go on. Write a program that prompts the user to enter the cost of renting one room. Aha! Whenever you see the word prompts the user or requests the user to enter data, Marianne, Damien, Abdul, what comes to mind?
In.
Okay, yeah, in
what?
which is referring to one of three principles. Let me put my video on. Which is referring to one of three principles I've only talked to you about programming.
Always enter a prompt statement before the in statement.
Okay, true. Yeah, Abdul. Thank you, Abdul. That's all you need to worry about in terms of any computer program you're dealing with. Input, processing, and output. As soon as you see the word prompts the user to enter the requests from the user the data, that's your input statement. So you must keep this in the back of your mind when you're dealing with programming. What is it that they want you to gain from the user, or get from the user? What do they want you to do with what they get, what the user gives you? And finally, they want you to answer, what must I output? All right, so those are the three things you're going to keep in mind. Now, let's go on. The number of rooms booked, the number of days, and the text. So they are giving you a clue out here. They are telling you this is the input. The number of rooms that you are booking, the number of days, and the tax law, and the tax, right, as a percent. Now, let me tell you another clue about programmers. If this is what they are giving you as the output, this is what you must display in the program. And in the exam, you may be under a lot of stress, right, Miriam? Or a little bit stressed. I don't think you'll be stressed. By that time, you'll be so good in terms of programming. You'll be relaxed. Abdul, you may be a little bit stressed. I don't know. But if you are stressed and you find that you are unable to answer the question, then you simply display what they have out here, and you will definitely get part marks. I know that. All right, Abdul, what do you think of that strategy for the exam, Abdul?
I think it's fair enough allowing people to at least score for some.
Abdul, I'm losing you there, Abdul.
I was saying I think it's a cool system in a sense that at least it guarantees that people are gonna get some marks somewhere. It's not like
Correct.
You'll probably get 0 or something like that.
Correct. So let's say if you don't understand this question at all, you don't know what's going on in this question, you want to get part marks, and the question was they need you to answer this thing, and this is the output that they gave you. This is the test data, right? So if they say, please enter the following: cost per room, sales per tax, number of rooms, number of days. Let's say, for instance, you don't know how to calculate tax, discount, anything of that sort. Not you, Abdul, you all know about it, but just pretend, right, Miriam? Pretend that you don't know. So you start off by saying, see out, please enter the following: see out, cost per room. And you know, Miriam, from working with see in statements, you got to have see in room. Now, you'd have done it somewhere in the top over there. They say the cost of renting a room is 900 Rand per night. Then you can say see in sales tax per room, because you want to generate this output that they have out there. And Marianne, I'm not only talking about assignment 2, question 2. This works for any programming that you have. All right, Marianne? Damien?
Yep.
All right, right. And if you want, you can spread it to life as well, share it with life. If your significant other asks you to do something, give them what they want, right? If they want cost per room and they tell you the cost is 900, and that's what you're going to display. That's what you're going to give out, right? So let's go with my code blocks. Let's see, there's my code blocks out here. And let's open up a new program. So I'm stuck in the exam and I don't know how to do it. But all I know is I'm going to give them an answer as to, let's call this Damien. Damien, you honor of you, right? So I don't know what is going on, Damien. I don't know what's going on in this program. But all I see is that this is what they want me to display: the total cost, the discount, and the number of rooms. So Damien, Damien, time is of the essence of the hour. I just want to copy and paste, Damien, if you don't mind, Damien. Damien.
No, we all copy and paste.
Okay, good, cool, right? So there we go. Anti-fast typist, right? Marianne, right? So there we go.
Definitely. I think we're looking at a new superhero. What do you think?
Thank you. You're great for my. I see that. It's also Marianne that I've got to, save time and save data and everything. So can you check this out now, right? I don't know what this program is doing. Do I know what this program is doing? No, I don't, right? I'm not going to put the answer there. I don't know. Don't overdo that now. Right. So there we go. Check it out. And also you must remember your confidence levels begins to increase now. You say, hey, I can program, right? All you needed to know was hello world, right? Hello world, COUT, and the total cost is, right? So you are starting from a point of, listen, this is what they want me to display. Right, Damien? Damien.
Correctamundo.
Correctamundo. Okay, so I'm gonna let me go and run this program. Let me go and run Damien's program. Damien. Damien.
They wanted the specific values. You just see out of those statements for some reason, but there's no actual value in it.
Okay, cool. But can you see, Damien, now you've got a strategy to tackle this question and to tackle future programming examples. All right. So I like to think that I'm teaching you out for life, and I know these little things about programming, right? I studied pretty long to do this, right? And here I'm giving it to you on the house free of charge, right? Check it out. So now your confidence levels is boosted. You're feeling nice about it. If that's what you want to output, Damien, then looking at what the output is, this is what you are going to input. You check it out, Damien? See, the number of rooms booked. So if you're going to display the number of rooms booked, you need to go and find out from the user how many rooms they want. Damien, you check it out. You check the strategy that I'm talking about. And if you're going to have something about the total cost of the rooms are, then you should be declaring a variable called total cost. Right, Damien?
Yes, you should be.
You should be. Yeah. So what I'm trying to get at is a strategy to tackle any programming example. You take the output that they have and you work towards it. You can also, in my book, take all the inputs that they require. So there's all the inputs that they require. Control C. Let's open up my code blocks. Control V. Oh, there we go. Right, so I'm going to say, please enter the following. Check it out. We don't need hello world there. Right, so I'm going to say, please enter the following cost per room. Let's go and put down C out over there. Cost per room. I can't put the values, right, Damien?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yes, not yet, right? But Damien, can you see how I've taken a difficult question? I don't know whether I'm going to get all the marks, right? I just want some marks now, right? I want some marks. Damien, if you were a lecturer, Damien, marking this, would you give the student part marks, Damien?
I have no idea. I've never been a lecturer in my life.
Okay, but let's pretend like if you were, and you're a kind-hearted lecturer, Damien, right? You want to, you know that programming has input, processing, and output, right, Damien?
I would say yes, because it demonstrates that the student does understand what some programming at least involves, the COut statements at least.
Of course you were, right? And don't worry, I'm a lecturer, so I will give them marks, right? So if I look, notice, Damien, and Abdul, you can come in here, Abdul. Here's my input, Abdul. Here's all my output. And now I got to work on my processing somewhere out there. Abdul, you with me, Abdul?
Yes, sir, I'm following.
Yeah, Abdul. What do you think about this, Abdul? What do you think about this idea of having a strategy to tackle this question and future questions as well, Abdul, where you look at what is it that the user wants you to display, and you display exactly what the user requests from you, right? And if they had a spelling error in there, you just copy and paste the spelling error. Oh man, that was a joke, Marianne.
So it wasn't a very good one, Doctor. I think you could have done better.
Oh,
we know
man.
you can do better.
Okay. What I mean is, the joke is, can you see there's an error over here? Write a program that prompts. It's supposed to be prompt. And there's another error, the room. Okay. Never mind.
Assignment 2 was full of spelling errors. I just want to point out.
Thank you. Like I said, that's what the user has. You just give it to them like that, right? So let's say if it's American user, you spell color COLOR or COLOUR, if it's British spelling or whatever, right? Okay, right. So there we go. Now that you know that this is what they want, this is what the processing takes place and the output. So we already decided, Marianne said, listen here, there's an if statement out there. That's what we require when we have to make a decision. We need an if statement. And Abdul said, listen, if there's a number of if statements, let's go with a switch statement. So now let's look at what happens in this. Right, again, I said it's already 25 plus 12. Look at that. All right, so let's look at what happens here. Oh, let's make another rule of thumb. We said that if ever we are using a variable, if ever, we must initialize it to 0. Right, so there we go. Float. And oh, let me tell you something else. If you're not sure whether the variable has to be an integer or a double, what do you think we should go for? If we're not sure, again, you know, we don't really know what to do. What would be a safe option to make sure that it is an integer or to make it a double?
Make it a double, sir. That's what you said. Making it a double might be a bit safe.
Yeah, remember that joke I made? Okay, Marianne, listen to this joke, right? So whoever, if you're not sure what you're going to have at the bar, Marianne, instead of a single, you should always go for the double. Is that a better joke, Marianne?
That is a better joke, sir.
Oh,
It sounds like a recipe for bad decisions.
Yes, that I will agree with.
So, if you're thinking decisions, Damien, what programming statement comes to mind?
If statement.
Yay! There we go. See, I'm already programming you without you knowing, and I'm brainwashing you. As soon as you think of,
Sir, I think there's something on the chat.
oh, sorry. Yes. Thank you, Marianne. Hi, sir. From my side, there is no sound. I think I'm experiencing network problems because I used to be using my cell phone. Oh, sorry. Okay. Is that the only student that's having a Sia Mandla? I'm struggling to hear me. Prince is also struggling. Is there a problem with sound? I know I can hear Marianne clearly. I can hear Damien clearly.
So yeah, there was a moment just now, like right at the beginning of the lesson where it like broke up a little bit, but I mean, that cleared up.
Oh, okay. Right, I know there's no load shedding or anything in Durban right now, so yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm sorry about that, but listen, y'all can always watch the recording. I promise.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, yes, it is recorded. Oh, it is. It has been recording. Yeah, I hope it has. Okay, great. So let's continue with the. Oh yeah. Where's my code blocks? Okay, right. So we making there's a couple of rule of thumbs, and this will also give you marks, right? So Damien, if you were the lecturer and the student declared every variable that they use, Damien, would you give them marks, Damien?
That I would definitely give them marks for.
Excellent. And
obviously, if they declare properly.
Yes.
Because there's certain rules of declaring as well.
Correct. But by the time you come to the exams in October, and oh, there was a question, do you write exams in the end of the year? Yes, it's around about October. So we're already into June. June is almost over. So we've got July, August, September, October. We've got 4 months, but you also have other modules to worry about. And I'm not sure about you, Damien. Do you have Wife 101 or Wife 2021 or Girlfriend or something like that? You know, you got to add all those.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. But Girlfriend 301 or 401. Right. So all those modules also require your time and attention, right? So there's my please enter cost per room. If you look at Damien's program that we had, here we go. Please enter the following cost per room. So I would have had a C in statement. I just did it in one line because I want to save some space. So C in, it'll be cost. If I wanted to, I could have made it a little more. When I say cost per room, it means a little bit more, but I could have put out like what happened in the assignment, C in cost. All right. Now, Damien, if you know how to do that cost per room, you can do that for each one. You can say C in tax per room. All right. And if you wanted the number of rooms, Damien, this is without knowing what they expect of you. So you can do that all the way, right? So this is simply building up your strategy to answer this question. So let's take another question that they have now. Let's just jump the gun now. So here we have, right. So here we have the Golden Sales Company. I know Marianne is telling me, why am I jumping to question number 3 when we are still working on question number 2? Marianne, were you thinking like that, Marianne?
No, I'm often quite happy to trust that you know what you're doing.
Ah, thank you, Marianne. Damien, you were thinking like that. Why am I jumping to question number 3, Damien?
Time is a factor.
Okay. No time. I'm actually taking a little longer. So there's the question. The question over here says, question number 3 says, this function displays the following message without me reading the rest of the questions. Marianne, Damien, I'm not going to read what the question is. I am going to write a program to do this. All right, so I'm going to write a program, project, console application, and in honor of Marianne says that I know what I'm doing. I hope I do. Marianne, there's the name of the program. And I know Marianne says that I type so fast. Meantime, she doesn't know that I copy and paste all the time. Control V. There we go, Marianne. See, I'm answering this question without even knowing what the question deals with, right? Right? Check it out. Check it out.
It's just those figgy little formatting things that are a pain.
Yeah. But true programmers, we don't worry about the formatting. We leave that to designers and graphic artists and all of that, right? We worry about
Yeah, well, I was waiting for you to start fiddling with the tabs and the spaces on the last thing. Those were dreadful.
Oh yeah, I hear you. But listen, right now I'm just giving the strategy, Marianne, right? Because the first thing that a lecturer will want to know is, does the program work? Does it compile? All right. So that's important in terms of programming, not necessarily how it looks and all the little the tabs and the settings and all that goes with it. That's important, but not as important in that the program must work. Right, the program must run. So if I had to compile this little bit of program, hello world. Oh, someone forgot to say hello world. Golden Sales Company. This program inputs the number of items sold by a salesperson and prints the amount of pay due. Ta-da! Damien, would you give them like 2 marks out of 10?
2 marks, minus half a mark because that hello world is not supposed to be there. But okay.
Oh my word, this lecturer is a tough lecturer. Marianne, look at how he's taking out marks on Marianne. Oh man, okay.
So no, I actually think he's good. He's like my mom. My dad always says because my little sister's still in school. She's in, I think, grade 10 this year.
Yes.
And my dad always says my mom's hopelessly too generous with half marks. So no, I actually think he's quite good about that.
Okay, let me get my 2 marks now. Damien, will you give me 2 out of 10, Damien?
That's 2 marks secured.
Thank you. Because I've answered the question, right? Without knowing what the rest of the question is, I have answered according to what they wanted, right? It's just that they needed to be in a function, but that's something else, right? So what I'm trying to get at is how you tackle a question, because again, I did my PhD on IT programming, and the literature out there tells you that students consider programming to be difficult. They don't know where to start. They, score poorly in their assessments. And one way of answering and getting marks is to answer a question like the way I am, giving you a strategy. So let's talk. Now it says, please input the number of items. Again, I don't know what's going on in this question, right, Damien? But all I know is I need to display this in the next line because I want to get some marks. Control C, and let's open up my code blocks. And out here, I'm going to say Control V, C out. Please input the number of items sold. All right, whoopsie. Right. So, Damien, would you give me like half a mark for that line or a mark?
I suppose you know where directions going.
Thank you. So as soon as I now again it says please input. Abdul, come in, Abdul. There's my what part of the three that I'm talking about, Abdul?
So yeah, we need to have a C in statement or console.
Right. So we need to see in number of items sold. All right. I'm just overdoing the variable naming because I'm taking it from the C in
And
statement.
you also
right?
need to declare, say, you need to
Thank
declare that
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I need to declare as well. Can you see how we are building, we are scaffolding on our knowledge that we learned in terms of how we got the question from the, what the C in statement, CL statements are. Damien, how many marks you'll give me for line number 14, Damien?
Line number 14,
Hmm.
half a mark, but because you're going to declare statement as well, but it hasn't happened yet, I'll definitely give another mark.
Okay. Let me go declare them. Hey, right. Now, here's my clue. I'm asking you, Damien. Number of items, must it be double, float, or integer?
Are we being safe?
No, we're not being safe. You giving me half marks and 1 marks. I want to check on you now. Number of items. If you sell an item, Damien, if you're going to sell an item, let's say you're going to sell a pen. Will you sell 1 pen, or 1.5 pens, or 2 pens, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 pens? How are you going to sell the
It's a
item?
solid item, so you can only sell one at a time. So you can
Yes.
sell 1, 2, but you can't sell half a pen.
Okay, so what will my declaration be? Integer, int, yes, int. So can you see now, Damien, how you begin to pick up what your declaration for your variable is based on what is going to be put into that variable. Cool, Damien?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so how many marks are you
It's
going to give
cutting
me?
out in and out, sorry.
How many marks are you going to give me if I'm going to take this variable?
I'll say 1.
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
to be too generous.
Okay. Now if I initialize it and I set it to 0, Damien, give me half mark. What?
I'm thinking I don't want to be too, I can't be too generous.
Ah,
Like,
man,
there's
come
other
on.
components.
Teachers are
Okay,
so
let's just
caring.
let's say 2 marks.
Okay. Thank you. I know if I call the variable Damien, then you would have given me 3 marks, right? But then it's not meaningful to the program. But do you get the grasp of how I am developing and designing and working with a strategy to get my program working? Damien, that's my whole point of this exercise here. Can you check it out, Damien? Right, the strategy. And let's go on now. Let's just quickly jump to this program. It says the amount paid due is, I don't know how that works. So I'm just going to say Control C, and I'm going to open up my program. And somewhere along the lines, I'm going to say Control V, C out the amount paid due is, right? And I don't know what the variable is. Damien, how many marks are you going to give me for that line?
1 mark, you demonstrate that you know what C out is.
Thank you. So I'm going to say C out. What am I going to say? C out. Amount paid. So amount. Right. Now, Damien, how many marks are you going to give me, Damien?
That's another 1.
Okay, thank you. Damien, if I declare it, Damien, on the top because I'm using it, how many marks are you going to give me?
You need to declare it and indicate if you do it with a 0 as well. If you remember to do it, that's 2.
Okay, and will it be now? It's going to be an
mistake,
integer.
sir. It's
Yes.
supposed to be sin, not C out.
Why sin? Who
Because
am I
the
talking
user
to?
will have to input.
Okay, do you think the user will have to input the amount paid due? Let's look at the question. The amount paid due is 1,562 Rand and 50 cents.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
Ah, good. Who am I speaking to? Who's there? I missed that.
Ritmeti.
Ritmitsi. All right, thank you very much. Right. Okay, so you need to know the question as well. And generally, when they ask you that the amount pay due, what you are doing and what you are need to pay at the end of it all is where you are. It's like at a cash sales till that you are displaying what's going to be, and they don't want you to enter that in. They are asking you to pay that amount of money. All right, so that's where you'll have to display it. That's your output statement. All right. Okay, so let's go back to Damien. Damien, what kind of variable will this be, Damien? What type? Amount.
Because it's a value of a number and it's going to be in rands. There's space for decimal places as well, because
Yes.
that are asking for a rand number, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that should then be a double.
Okay, a double. All right. So definitely not a single, right? It's going to be a double, right? It's going to be a double. All right. So it's going to be double amount, because Damien says, listen, it has rands and it has cents. So it's 5 rand and 62 cents. Now, Damien, it's also good practice to initialize your variable, because I want another half mark from you, right, Damien? So if it's a double, how should I declare it, Damien? Right, so that's a nice way of doing it, right? It'll also take 0 as well, sometimes some of the compilers, right? But again, I want you to grasp the concept of how you strategize to answer this question. Okay, if I compile this, it should compile, not that it'll do anything, but let's see if it compiles. All right, and again, it builds your look at that, 0 errors, 0 warnings, right? It should compile. Okay, Damien, Marianne, Abdul, what do you think of the strategy, Abdul? Damien, Marianne?
Solid, securing your marks that you can secure first based on the information that they give you before you even start applying the knowledge.
Yeah, before you go on, right? Obviously, this is in our Zoom session, it's not under exam conditions, but it builds your confidence in terms of how you work it out, right? And you have a strategy of looking at it, right? So let's go back to our question. Here's the question. So we know how to enter it. This is the difficult part in all my years of teaching students how to get the strategy to answer the question. So if I look at lines number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, this is the tough part, right? This is the tough part. Now, if I want to grasp the concept of what they want me to do, it'll be a good idea for me to pretend as if I am going to a hotel, I'm booking a room for the night, all right? So what you do is you create a little bit of test data, right? So if they say the cost of renting a room is 900 rand, so if you exclude any discount whatsoever, if you go to this hotel, what's it called? We have Suncoast, right? Suncoast Hotel. And if you spend one night over there, you are going to be paying 900 rands, right? So that will help you to grasp what you need to do. Then you say to yourself, listen, I'm only spent one night there. What if I spent 2 nights there? How much would it, without looking at anything else, Damien, Abdul, because you want to grasp the concept of answering this question in the exam or the next assignment or in your next module or whenever, because programming, I feel, teaches you logic, teaches you how rational thinking and all that goes with it, right? So this will help you to grasp the concept that, listen, I must take 900 rand and multiply it by 2 nights. If it's 3, 4, 5, so that will give you an indication of what process needs to transpire or to take place with you and the program to get the answer. Do you see what you need to do now, Damien, Abdul, Marianne, as a strategy? Talk to me, somebody, right? Okay, so that's what I mean by a strategy. Then if you want to get to grasp of discount, you take, I like to take 100 rand, right? I always like to take 100 because it's so easy to work with. If I need to know what my discount is on 100 rand, if I get 10% discount, I'm saying if the room is 100 rand and I'm getting a 10% discount, How much will I pay for that room, Marianne?
90 Rand.
90 Rand. How now, as a programmer, you need to know the strategy, the algorithm, the recipe of how you got 90 Rand. Talk to me, Marianne. How did you get 90 Rand?
So I used a minus equal operation and I multiplied the total amount by 0.1.
Okay. So Marianne did that, right? Marianne's talking so big now, right? There's Marianne's program there, right? So Marianne says she had, so you told me it's 100. And how did you get 90 Rand, Marianne?
So we used a minus equal statement.
Okay, let's not use the minus equal. Let's just say, so 100, how did you get 90?
Okay, so 100 multiplied by 0.1 will give us 10%.
Hold it, slowly, Marianne. 100 multiplied by 0.1, right?
Right, that's our 10%. So we're subtracting that from our total amount.
Let's do one thing at a time, right? Can I put that in brackets, Marianne? Would you mind if I do that? Because I just like to do one thing at a time. You know, men can't multitask. We got to do one thing at a time, Marianne. So in maths, we said we can use that in brackets, right, Marianne? So I'm going to say 100 times 0,1, right? And what will that answer give me, Marianne? Marianne, you with me?
Sorry, I was about to say to you, sir, you broke up there a little bit. I lost you there a minute.
Let me put this video off. Save some bandwidth. Maybe that'll help. Okay, Marianne, you told me 100 times 0,1, right? Go on, Marianne.
Yes. Right, so that's going to give us our 10 Rand. That's our discount. So
Rand,
what we then need is our total amount.
Right, so
what we then need is our total amount minus discount.
Okay, so you're telling me
what we could
100
have
times
is
0,1 is your discount, right? So I'm going to say 100 minus this amount, right? Is that what you're telling me, Marianne?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, Marianne, you've given me a mathematical formula, right, Marianne? I am now going to take that and make that into programming statements, okay? So where you got 0,1, I'm going to call that percentage, right? Percentage discount. All right, how's that, Marianne? Is that okay, Marianne? So I'm going to say that's going to be 0,1, right? Because that's what you told me. I'm going to say initial cost. That's going to be 100, right, Marianne? Marianne, cool, you with me, right? So initial cost is 100, and you told me that down. So now my answer is going to be, wherever I have 100, Marianne, I'm going to say initial cost, subtract, open bracket, initial cost multiplied by percentage. Okay, well, I use a full word, right? I just want to I want to kill some time over here. You know, I got to pull time as well, you know. How's that, Marianne? Right? So what I'm getting at is, this is how I got to write a programming statement. I took whatever I had, I know it's 100, and Marianne gave me all these answers, right? You said plus, minus, this, that, and everything, I don't know, right? But I took whatever Marianne gave me as a concrete example, and I represented that in variables, and now I have a programming statement. What do you think of that, Marianne? You think you would have been able to get that?
Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, you've been wasting your time, haven't you?
No, no, man, never. At least I know Marianne spent an hour with us, right? So let's do another one, Marianne, right? To consolidate what I'm talking about, right? So Marianne, I know you like to buy dresses and all of that, right? Clothes. But you know, Marianne, there's a big markup on dresses, right? So if you buy a dress for 100 and Marianne,
I've got to tell you, I'm a jeans girl, so it's not going to help with the dress.
Oh, okay. What?
I said I'm a jeans girl, so dress isn't going to help her.
Right. Let's go with jeans, right? So Marianne, jeans. So your jeans costs 100 Rand, right, Marianne? Is that cool, Marianne? Right. That's the.
Yeah, we'll work with that.
Right. So 100 Rand now. Marianne, there's a markup on the jeans, right? And the markup is going to be 10%, which you say is 0.1, right, Marianne? I'd like to know, how much does the jeans cost? What's the markup on this jeans? Right, so the initial cost of the jeans is 100 Rand.
Yeah.
Your markup is
So what we're going to end up with.
owner.
Yeah. So what we're going to end up with is total cost equals initial cost
Don't
plus
total cost
bracket
now.
initial.
Oh, don't jump to total cost, Marianne. Just go slowly. You're the teacher now. You remember you're teaching for lots of students. You got 50 in the class.
Okay.
So let's do it slowly
Okay.
now. So how do you get it now? It's 100.
Okay. Okay, so if we start with our numbers, then it's fine. It's 100. It's 10 Rand for our 10% again.
So how
But
do I
now
get?
Instead of it being subtracted, it's going
Hold
to
it,
be
hold it. Tell me how you
110
got 10
Rand.
Rand. How did you get 10 Rand,
20.
Marianne? How did you get 10 Rand?
Okay, so 100.
Hmm?
So it's 100 times 0.1.
0.1. So let's keep this in brackets, right, Marianne? Because we learned about board mass and we learned about doing one thing at a time. And all of that. So that'll be 10%, right? Okay, Marianne, 10 Rand, right? And then what do I do with that 10 Rand,
Yeah.
Marianne?
Okay, so you're going to add it to your total. Because I'm pretty sure you said marked up, not marked down.
Markup. Yeah. No, it's a markup price, right? You're the shop owner. You're very kind. You're like Damien. You're giving only 10%. Right. So now I'm going to add it to 100, and this is going to be my selling price. Selling price, right? So now, Marianne, what you do is you take whatever concrete example that you worked with the 100, and you go and write it in programming variable statements. Do you get what I'm trying to do now? Right. So talk to me, Marianne.
Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a variable. Let's call it amount. So amount equals our initial cost.
Okay. So
amount. We're going to put initial cost in where.
Oh, okay. So let's the initial cost. INIT initial cost. Right.
Okay. So plus bracket.
Plus
initial cost.
Right.
Initial cost times percentage.
Times percentage. All right. If you're using a variable percentage, then I need to go and change this to percentage out there. Is that okay, Marianne?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
So
we just need that to because I don't think that equals anything right now. So I think we need to actually put amount equals in front of that statement, don't we?
Okay, great. So here's my concept of a container. AMOUNT, right? There we go, right? Right. Now, Damien, what do you think about this, Damien? You think you're going to give Marianne marks, Damien? Oh, we lost.
Sir, we need a semicolon on the end, I think.
Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you. Syntax error. All right. Damien, you still with us, Damien? Oh,
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Damien, what do you think about Marianne's strategy to get the C++ programming variables, Damien? Will you give her marks, Damien?
Definitely. She definitely knows what she's doing. She even remembered the semicolon at the end.
Oh, so you got a half mark for that one. Okay, cool. Right. If she wants more marks, Damien, how can she get more marks, Damien? Like half mark here, half mark there. What else does she need to do? You mentioned it before, Damien. Damien, on the top there, what does she need to do? Okay,
Marianne. You said my name?
Oh, if she wants more marks, she wants to get all the other half marks and everything. She should go at?
Oh, was it declared?
Yeah, she hasn't declared it. So she needs to declare it, right, Damien? All right, Marianne, Damien is going to give you some half marks along the way. All right. Now, let's get back to this room rental. So the room rental, we got to think like that. We got to think in terms of how we get to grasp what they want us to do. If the number of rooms booked is at least 10, the discount is 10%. If the number of rooms booked is at least 20, the discount is 20. If the number of rooms booked is greater than or equal to 30, the discount is 30%. If rooms are booked for at least 3 days, there's an additional 5% discount. So you need to, I don't want to give you the answer, hopefully you all would have worked it out, but try and use the method I showed you, where you say, if the person has entered in 5 rooms, what will be the discount? If the person has entered in 15 rooms, what will be the discount? If the person has entered in 40 rooms, what will be the discount? All right? So you work with the concept like this. If the person has entered in 5 rooms, how much will the discount be? Right? What did they say the discount is going to be for 5 rooms?
There's no discount.
Oh, there's no discount. Oh, there's no discount. Is there no discount?
5%.
If the number of rooms booked, oh, there's no discount for 5 rooms. Oh, let's say 11 rooms now, right? So if rooms equals 11, my discount is 5%.
10.
Oh, 10%.
10%.
10%, right? 10%. Thank you. Right? So what I'm getting at, if the number of rooms, but how much is each room cost? The cost of renting a room is 900 Rand, right? So cost is 900 Rand. All right. So I want to show you how we get to this formula, because this is where students find it difficult to get the processing in it. So talk to me now. I have a single room costs 900 Rands. 11 rooms, how much will it cost? And how much of discount will I get? Because I was getting lots of queries from students into how they interpreted the question. Marianne, if you had to work this out, Marianne.
Okay, so sorry, it was 11 rooms, so 9,900 Rand total.
Okay, so it's
with
9,900 Rand, yeah?
Yeah.
That's total,
Then
okay?
then it's a 10% discount. So our discount will equal 990.
990 is your discount, right? So how much should I pay?
Okay, so that's 9,900 minus 990 is 9,000.
Wait, 9,000. Oh, slow. 9,900 minus 990, yeah?
Right, so gosh, now you've derailed me. 8,970.
Okay, which is 8,970. I don't know that, right? I'm not interested in the answer. I'm interested in the strategy, how you work it out, right? So let's go and make life easy. Let's go do it 100 Rand, right? So each room costs 100 Rand, Marianne. Is that makes life easy, right? What do you say?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Right. So total cost without any discount, Marianne, is?
Okay, so total cost without any discount is 1,100 Rand.
All right, so 1,100 Rand, right? How much is the discount?
It is going to be 110 Rand.
Right, now comes the part where I need to calculate the formula. How do I get this now? So I need to get 1,100 minus 110. Am I right,
10.
Marianne?
Yeah.
Right? So all I now got to do is replace wherever I have the variables with how I got to that. All right? This is the whole objective of today's lesson, Marianne, is how we get to do the processing part of a question. All right? So talk to me, Marianne.
Okay, so the first thing we would do would be we'd enter our number of rooms.
Okay,
and we'd have
so
entered the price, so we'd multiply those.
All right, so
So
we're
it'd
going to
be
say
rooms times price.
So we're going to say rooms times price, right? So if we're going to have rooms out there, I'm just going to delete a line so that you can see. All right, so Marianne is telling me it's rooms times price, right? So we're going to have this as price. do not have a cost, right? So you can say price, right? So now if I take rooms, which is 11 times 100, I'm going to get 1,100, right? Let's keep that in
Right.
brackets, right, Marianne? Oops,
Okay.
rooms times, oopsie. All right, there we go. It's in brackets, right, Marianne?
Yeah. Okay. So it might be a little bit simpler there if we put in cost for
Okay,
number
cost.
of rooms as
Okay.
an additional variable, because then on the next line we can have cost per number of rooms.
Oh,
being our
okay,
total
okay.
amount.
Okay, so you're
which
going to
we
say
can
cost
then
times price.
subtract.
Slowly, Marianne. I know you're faster. Right, so cost, so it's going to take cost times rooms, right? Not price, cost times rooms, right?
Okay.
All right. And then, Marianne,
Yeah.
are we going to do all
Okay.
in one, or are we going to
So
do it
we've got
separately?
that. Well, that's what I was just thinking of now, because what we've got now is cost times rooms. That's the 1,100. But what we're going to want to do is to multiply that final answer by a percentage to take it away again. So, okay, we've now got cost times the number of rooms. Okay.
Right. And that's going to give me 1,100, right?
But what makes sense is to input that into another variable. So
okay, let's start that at temp, right? You want to call it temp? How's that, right? Is that
that'll
cool?
do it.
Right,
that'll do it.
Right, that'll do.
You need a semicolon.
Right. Now we go. Now what we're going to do? We're going to take temp.
Yeah.
And
so temp. Yeah. So what were we getting? 10%. Okay. So temp multiplied by percentage.
Okay. So PRCNTAGE, right? So we're not going to use the word discount anymore. We're going to use the word percentage. Right, Marianne? Okay. And how much? What will this give me? This will give me.
Okay, that'll give you your 110.
Right. So this is going to give me 110.
Because it's your 1,100 times.
Which is my discount,
so that's
right?
Give you 110. Right.
Which is my discount, right? Okay. Fine. Do you see I'm using the equal to sign now, Marianne? Right? Good, Marianne. So I'm just putting this as a comment. This is going to be 110, right? This one is going to give us 1100, right, Marianne? Go on, Marianne. Doing good.
Okay.
Right. So
then what we would have is so final amount equals temp minus discount.
Final amount equals temp minus discount. Ha! Oops, I can't spell. AMOUNT. AMOU. Right. Marianne, what do you think about that, Marianne? And that's going to give me 1,100 minus, right? But the important thing is, do you get to grips of how you take a problem, you take a concrete example, like 100. I always like using 100. You store it in variables, or you call it in variables, and even you decide, hey, I want to work it, when I say, I call this an intermediary value, right? An intermediate value. Like if you want to calculate average, Marianne, you got to have the total, right, Marianne? You know what I mean? The sum of all the numbers and everything, right? So there's my intermediate value, and this is what it is. So this is the strategy that I teach my students in order to get to the processing part. Okay, everybody? Hello. Damien, you'll give me some marks there, Damien.
That's a good couple of marks. Obviously, I don't know how much was declared, but that's a good couple of marks.
Okay. We're gonna declare it. Marianne, you're gonna declare it, Marianne, right, Marianne? Marianne, you will declare.
Yes, but there are no semicolons on the end of those statements.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right. Semicolon. Oh. Hey, you know, the whole exercise here is to see whether you can get it right. Okay. Now you get some marks now, half mark and all that, right? Okay. Right. Damien, you give us some half marks, Damien.
Definitely. Definitely.
Great. And if she wants to display all of that, she needs to have some see out statements. Okay. All right. Now, the only thing I haven't pointed out to you was the decision making that takes place, and that is mathematics, the mathematical intervals that we're talking about. All right. But I hope I've helped you and given you a strategy of how you tackle a question like this, right? Marianne, please tell me you didn't waste your time, 1 hour you spent here with me. Damien?
No, I don't think so.
Definitely not.
Good, right? And this will help you to answer any programming example. I always tell my students, take the value 100, see how it is, what it works with, so that you gain an understanding of the question. If you don't know what the user asks of you, and you cannot put it in your own words, then you're going to have a problem to answer the question. All right? And with that, I'm going to stop. I have this solution in terms of rooms and how you work it out. And there we go. Marianne, cost times days times rooms and the discount and all that goes with it. But I'm not going to give it out to you. I'd like you all to try it and play around with what I did. With that, I'll stop my share. And if there's any questions, queries, I can see there's some people in the chat. Click here, you'll be sorted out. The same problem. Oops, okay. Thank you for that. Sound is fine. Exam panic prevention strategy looks a lot simpler within this strategy. You should name it EP. Exam. Oh, I like this one. Exam panic prevention strategy. I like that, Moss. Great. Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Oh, I say, can I ask something?
Sure.
I couldn't find the feature to raise my hand.
No, go ahead. We just talk.
Oh, thank you.
Talk. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. Temp, I didn't get it was an abbreviation for what? Temp.
Temp. Okay. So let's go back to that question. Marianne just decided that she wants to do it, piecemeal, right? Marianne, correct me if I'm wrong, Marianne. The question is for you. Why you use temp?
No, pretty much divide and conquer.
Yeah, you didn't want to do everything in one go. You wanted to work at, like an intermediate step, right?
Okay. Temp would have been, so temp would have been temporary. It's not a very good variable name as such, I suppose, because it's not descriptive. It doesn't really tell you what the amount is that it contains. But yeah, I think in our case, it would just have been temporary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you, Marianne. I'm glad you asked that question, right? Please ask a question. You never know. You may be asking a question on behalf of somebody else as well. Anybody else with a question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go on. Charlton. Hello, Charlton.
Yeah. Howdy, how's it?
I'm well. How are you, Charlton? Talk to me.
I've been well, yeah. So yeah, if you can you please share the screen that you're just sharing now?
Sure. Let's go ahead. I'm sharing it. Here we go.
Just got like a silly kind of question.
No. No questions are silly. Don't ever think like that. Go on.
What would you say recommend? Let's say having to have more variables or having to have a complex, I can't say complex, but a big expression, let's say, to avoid having to create like temp, and you then just have like the final amount and it has like a longer calculation.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that to my deputy Marianne, right? Marianne, you were the one that wanted to have temp. Marianne, talk to me. Answer that question for us.
Okay, so I suppose, so I think that's mainly a thing of programming style because although it is more variables, they always say that the main thing about writing a program should be readability. It's what we have indentation and what have you for. To my way of thinking, over 3 lines like this is just more readable and more easily comprehensible than sticking everything into 1 line. So I do prefer to do it this way.
Yeah. I also like it like that. If you're beginning in terms of programming, it's nice to do it separately, 1 step at a time, or especially if you have like 3 or 4 variables and then you tend to lose what's going on. That's how I even put down the brackets out here, right? There's no need for brackets in line number 43 because there's only 1 computation taking place. But it's your programming style, and as you mature in your programming, you'll decide, hey, listen, I may not even want to put this down as a temporary variable. I may want to just output one shot, or return it as a function or a parameter or something like that. I think it's personal preference, it's your maturity, but ultimately, when a program is being tested, does it give the output that you expect? And if you have to
Okay.
have temporary variables in there for you to do that, yeah, so be it, So that's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Marianne. Hey, there, Marianne is my deputy. She's going to be the next e-tutor. Okay. Cool. Thank you for that question. Any more questions? And that was an excellent question. It wasn't silly at all. Never. I think it was cool. You helped me and you helped Marianne.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask. I think you guys said something about using the difference between when to use an if statement actually, and not when to use an if statement. When should we use an if instead of an if else statement, or when to use the switch statement? I quite struggle with that as well. For my side, I struggle with when to use those, an if statement or a switch statement.
Okay.
So I want to know when can I?
That's a good question as well. I'm not sure if Abdul is still on the call. Abdul, you want to come in here, Abdul, because you spoke about the switch statement and the if else statement. Abdul, are you still on the call?
Yes, sir. So what I would say, it's the same as you having a for loop and a while loop. They do the same thing. It's just that you need to know the rules and the laws on how to go about applying that for loop or the while loop. So same applies with the switch statement and the if statement. It's the same thing. You just need to know if you're using the switch statement, what rules you need to follow. And if you are using an if statement, what rules you need to follow. But basically they do the same thing.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it like that. You can take the for loop and you can write it as a while loop. You can take the while loop and write it as a for loop. In fact, that's one of the assignment questions. So similarly with the switch statement, you can have 5 if else. For instance, I know when I teach the if statement, I want to say whether a person is a teenager or not. That's one of my videos that I made, right? So a teenager and an adult, the age must be from 13 to 19. That's how you know you're a teenager. And you know you're an adult if you are from 22 onwards, right? Now, I could have said if age is greater than and equal to 13 and age is less than and equal to 19, see out, I am a teenager. Then I'm going to have another if statement, right? So I'm going to say if age is greater than 20, greater than or equal to 20, display I am on my way to being an adult, all right? If age is less than 13, I am still a youngster, right? Now, what I'm getting at is that I have so many if, then, else, if, then, else, if, then, else. What I could have done is I could have had the same variables declared in a switch statement where I'm going to say switch case age greater than equal to 13, then I can have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I think maybe one of the weeks I'm going to talk about the switch statement because there's been about 2 or 3 questions like this, right? And I can display that you are now a teenager. And I can have the default case, but when I say default case, meaning that if I don't fit into the 0 to 13, where I'm a youngster, from 13 to 19, which is a teenager, then obviously I'm an adult, right? That's where the default case would be. But to give you a simple explanation of where you want to use the switch statement as well as the if statement, if you have, this has been my experience, if you have a number of if statements, like what, 10, let's say 10 or 7 or 8, especially like days of the week. If I have a statement like, if day equals 0, then Sunday. If day equals 1, then Monday. If day equals 2, then it's a Tuesday. Tell me when you get the picture. If day equals 3, then Wednesday. If day equals 4. Hello, you got the picture? Did I lose you?
Yes, yes, yes. No, no, I'm still here. Yes, I get the picture now. I get it. If there's your options.
Yeah, so that's when I'll use the switch statement. So I'm going to say case day 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to say whatever it is. Okay. Does that help you?
Okay. Yes, it does. It does. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But ask the question in the WhatsApp group, and I promise I'll do a video on that again to show you how you can note the differentiation between switch and if. But generally in the past year papers, they asked for you use a switch statement to answer this question, or what is the output based on if else statement. All right. Thank you. Any more questions? Last one, going, gone. Oh, I said half an hour and it's now 1:15. I can talk. It's sometimes so difficult to get a programming concept across in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Right. So thank you. Any more questions? Any more questions, queries? I hope y'all got the, obviously y'all did this before, so it's now a strategy, and I showed you what and how to answer it. All right. Thank you very much. Can we call it a day?
A Saturday.
Ah, yes. If day equals 6.
That's hectic.
Yeah. Thank you. Right, I'm going to stop the recording. I should have done that some time ago now, but anyway.